Run it up, then run it back. Run it up, then run it back. Run it up, run it back. Run it up, then run it back.
Oh, hello, and happiest of Wednesdays to you and yours. Welcome to Run It Back. Lou, Will, Chandler P, Boogie, and myself. We are here to talk some basketball for the next hour. Chandler went to the baseball game last night. He is the jinx. You are not allowed back.
I'm not going tonight, I'll tell you that.
Okay, fair enough.
It felt like there was an 18-inning game the night before.
Look, I feel like
Not
we're everybody in the nation is on Ohtani watch just to see. He looked like a mere mortal last night. That was the first time we've seen that actually happen.
Big game sucks.
How tall is Ohtani?
He's like
6'5".
6'4", 6'5". He's
yeah.
a big dude. He's a big dude.
He's a big dude. And that is your analysis for baseball for today. We will move
Big
on
dude,
to some
shitty
basketball. We got Robert Horry a little bit later, but we got Knicks, Bucks kicking things off. Bucks are on a run, and they're doing it very quietly, 3-1. Giannis also putting up some numbers, 37 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists. Ryan Rollins, a career-high 25. Brunson had 36 points. He injured himself in the fourth, but of course, as per usual, stayed in the game. Cat with only 8. Giannis, again, it's been very quiet because we've been talking about so many people because so many guys have been coming out strong, but he scored at least 37 points in 3 of the 4 games so far. He's averaging 36, 14, and 7. I mean, look, we've been talking best player, this guy, MVP. Why haven't we been talking Giannis? Because check out some of these stats right here.
Jeez.
Exactly.
I mean, I'll be honest with you, we do mention him in the same breath when we talk about these other guys. We talk about top 3, top 5 players in the world. It's Giannis is always in that conversation, right? And this game last night, it was a classic, don't forget about me. I'm still the guy. I'm still the most dominant player in the NBA. And you can talk about the Wemby's, you can talk about the Jokic's, SGA's, all you want, but I am still that guy. And obviously the Bucks have struggled lately. We haven't seen him in the finals or make a deep run since 2021 when Giannis obviously was that guy. He was the finals MVP. But he still is one of the more dominating players in this league. I like in such an offensive outside perimeter shooting game, he stuck to what he does best. He took 1 3 last night.
Nice.
He gets to the free throw line. He's efficient. He's the wing guard version of Shaq. He just dominates. He gets downhill. You can't stop him with one guy. So again, he's always, when healthy, top 2, top 4 player in the NBA. It's just, we just got so accustomed to all these big games and some of these crazy highlights that Wemby's doing to where he gets lost in the sauce a little bit, but he's still that guy.
That's kind of crazy to say when you can mention you get bored or tired of witnessing greatness. Like, this dude he hasn't fell off even a little bit. He's still the most dominant player in the NBA. He's continuing to show it. I think the reason that, you know, it's been a fall off as far as speaking on Giannis. It's not a great supporting cast around him this season. It's not any big names. And obviously, they're playing way better than expected. But Giannis is Giannis, and he's going to continue to be Giannis. He's leading his team. He's showing that there's a fighting chance in the East this season. And he's going to continue to be, you know, the great big man that we've been accustomed to seeing. So.
Is he, like, physically the most dominant
Absolutely.
as far as right now in this league? Because when you look at him, it's
the style of play, the physical build. I mean, it goes hand in hand. I would say he's the most dominant in the league.
Yeah,
absolutely.
and just to play, he's like a young LeBron, honestly. Like he's a
young Shaq.
He's like, yeah,
Shaq
LeBron
with a handle.
meets Shaq, meets like Zion. Like he can do everything, and he's so strong. He's so athletic. And again, obviously we'd love to see his outside shot improve, but it's never going to be his game. It never had to be his game. So you see things like this, and I think it's more on the Bucks and the organization. We talk about their team. Chris Middleton was a great fit for them. He got hurt. He was making some injuries. He's out. They don't really have that number 2 option this year. So it's got to be a clear-cut Giannis and then a collective effort from the Bobby Portises, the Kyle Kuzmas, the Cole Anthonys. Like, you know, people like that, they're all going to have to contribute to make up that slack because they don't have, most teams have, you know, for sure 1, 2, 3, and so on. The Bucks don't have that. It is Giannis and the rest of the team.
I think that's what works for them, though. Less is more sometimes. Like
Absolutely.
when we're talking about the most physically dominant guy, when you have a guy like that and you surround him with shooters, you surround him with role players and guys that understand their roles and they all have a common goal just to win basketball games, that works. You know, and you bring in another number 2 guy, he comes in thinking, now it's me and Giannis. No, this is Giannis' team, and all of these other guys, they're going to spot up and be shooters. Like, shout out to the young fella, Ryan, like, for stepping in. But I think what he did last night, that can be the role of 2 or 3 different guys on any given night. Cole Anthony can throw it in. Kyle Kuzma can do it for you. You know, you have Miles Turner, another guy that they brought in that can do that for you on any given night. Anybody can be the second option on that team, and I think that's what's working for them so far.
And to piggyback off of that, it is a key piece missing to this team this season. We still haven't seen KPJ hit the floor yet. So when we speak on a second option or that floor general that they're missing right now, they're having this much success early without their clear-cut second option in KPJ.
Okay, so let's stay with that whole idea of a second option, because obviously there are formulas in all of our brains about what works, what doesn't. But then we talk about the East, and it's just a different animal than the West, so the possibility seems a little bit more hopeful. Are they good enough to finish top 4 as is?
I think that's the beauty of this team right now. They can get off to a great start, an early start, and kind of solidify themselves as a top 4 team. Just how, look at these, Cavs banged up, Pacers banged up, Celtics banged up, Hawks banged up. Orlando, slow start from even they're fully healthy. So the East is wide open. We've talked about that, since training camp, that it is for anyone to go grab. The Knicks are struggling. Karl-Anthony Towns hasn't looked like himself in this new system that we thought was a joke that he said it, but clearly we'll get to that. But yeah, I mean, you look at this version of Giannis is the only way they can be. But yeah, if they continue to play like this and they get 15 from Bobby Portis, they get 15 from Kyle Kuzma, they get Amir Coffey, we haven't even talked about, who's a great offseason pickup from the Clippers.
Another shooter.
Yeah, they have the depth. Look at their bench. Cole Anthony, Prince, Kuzma, Portis, Coffey, like he said, Kevin Porter's not even in yet. Gary Harris hasn't even played yet. So they do have depth. They have experienced guys, and they have Giannis. So they're always going to have a fighting chance.
Absolutely.
A lot of the talk in the offseason, and it's been like that for a minute, is whether or not Giannis would actually ever ask for a trade or if they would think about trading him. And it's always going to loom, no matter what. Even with a hot start, it's sort of sitting in the back there. Do you add or do you try to add? And if you do add to this team to keep Giannis in town, who would be a great fit?
That's a tough question. I mean, obviously, being in the front office, you have to look to continue to improve this team, especially if they continue to go through this season and show that there's a fighting chance in the East. So, obviously, I think the front office is looking for that, that solid foundational piece to go next to Giannis. Now, trying to figure out what that piece is.
I was about to say, I don't even know who's available.
I don't know what's available. I don't know, technically what would be a great fit. I mean, when you think of a guy like Devin Booker, you can see him fitting into a lot of places. You think of a Devin Booker
next. Pop up a lot.
I think it is, and obviously with the situation he's in Phoenix, they're not in a situation to where they're competing for a championship. I don't think it's happening in the next 2 or 3 years.
I say don't go for it though, Boogie. I say don't go for it. Look at OKC. You got one clear star, and then you have really, really good role players.
One clear star?
Oh, in OKC?
Jalen Williams is definitely a star.
Oh,
Emerging, I agree with you.
He's a star right now.
I agree with you.
Star.
Yes.
Chet Holmgren's a star.
Absolutely.
I can't agree with that. I think it's more
Stars?
Stars, yes. Yes.
If you make those guys the one option on a lot of teams, we looking at different records.
That may be true. We can say that about a lot of guys.
So again, a lot of those guys, they eating based on the fact of how they're playing as a unit. So I'm not trying to discount anything that those guys got going on. I agree with you with Jalen Williams. I give you that on the fringe. But if we talking about like Devin Bookers of the world and these kind of
he's
guys,
a star and he's in a losing situation. That's
but
the
you don't
want
to. But the point I'm trying to make is you don't want to bring in a guy like that needs so much attention, that needs to be one of those guys. I like how this team is built, and
until the playoffs roll around, and then everything is keyed in on Giannis, and you don't have that second option.
And I don't.
But you got him surrounded with shooters. You got him surrounded with guys that's gonna play defense. You got him surrounded by some tough guys. Playoffs are different, but again, if you got that chemistry going into the playoffs, it ain't all about star power.
Yeah,
that's the point I was trying to make.
I can agree with you on that.
I wasn't trying to say that Jalen, none of those guys, but. That took us down a rabbit hole. So
I could watch that all day. Y'all going star.
No, so before they go too crazy, I'm agreeing with you with that. The point I'm trying to make is when there's tiers.
Yeah.
There's tiers when it comes to star power. If you bring in one of these top tier, so to speak, kind of guys, I don't know if you're still looking at the same Milwaukee Bucks that's off to this start now.
You mentioned Devin Booker, and I don't know who the exact name is, who's going to become available, who is. But the answer is shooting, and I think that's obvious with Giannis. I think the more you can't have enough shooting with him, the way they play, the way they get out in transition, don't allow the team's defense to pack the paint. So if you put Giannis and surround him, which I like Miles Turner for him because he's a 5 that can stretch it, and 3 other shooters where you eliminate kind of that nail defense, you eliminate that help, that's going to make their offense flourish more. So if it's not a Devin Booker type guy, which is I can't imagine how they'd even get someone like that. I think shooting is the answer, especially when you just build a team around Giannis. That is what he lacks.
I think I got an option.
Whoa.
Trae Young. I think
Trae Young would work.
Would be really nice
That's
next.
probably going to pop up a lot too.
I could see him next to Giannis and that being a really
Young
good
could work.
situation. That two-man game would be unstoppable.
What do you think about that, Lou? That's your town.
Yeah, I think that could be solid. I hadn't wrapped my head around it. But again, you're bringing in somebody else that can score the basketball, that can alleviate pressure on Giannis. The problem is, do you want to alleviate pressure off of Giannis when it comes to scoring? Like, this looks like they're a comfortable team with how they're built. If you look at these clips that we just saw, Giannis is the only person inside the three-point line.
Yeah.
All four other guys, they're spaced out. They're ready to eat off the land by what he creates. Now, when you bring a Trae Young into that, Trae's going to need the basketball to be impactful. He's going to have the ball in his hands. You lose some of your identity when you bring in a guy like Trae Young. So that's the point that I'm trying to make about Milwaukee. You don't want to bring in anybody that needs to be as dominant as Giannis.
Yeah, I'll say there's something to say about just having a team and not having that pecking order. It's nice when you do have.
I mean, we just saw with Dame. As talented and as much superstar power that Dame has, it didn't work for the long haul. It didn't get them deep into the playoffs. So I think now when you got
Andrew had more to do with that
than just hooping.
Yeah, my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, somewhat.
I'm just saying, if it is a luxury to have SGA, Jalen, Chet like that, but if you don't, it's actually a team. It's anybody's night, any given night. It's obviously Giannis. Then when he's out, anybody can pick up the slack. So there is something to say about having that 11, 12 deep
Now that's where it
team
gets dangerous.
where, it could be anyone's night. That's what they're going to have to do because there's zero clear-cut two right now. I wouldn't even know who to.
There's no.
I wouldn't even know who to pick.
It's interchangeable. It's fluid.
I thought it would be
Kuzma.
I thought it would be Kuzma last year.
I said it should be Miles Turner.
It's never going to be Miles Turner though. He's not like a.
He's a great role player.
Guy.
Yeah, he's a great role player. But let's say,
who else would it be on that team?
Literally, like, that's what I mean.
That's why they need a clear-cut second option.
I said it would be. I ain't said it should be. I said it would be.
Let's say Giannis misses time, like.
Ooh.
God forbid.
That's what I mean. I think they got to.
Who do they lean on to win games?
Listen, I'll be devil's advocate. Put the ball in Cole Anthony's hands then. We've seen him do it.
He's coming off the bench.
Lou Will came off the bench, and they put the ball in my hand a lot of nights, and we got home.
Giannis is out there.
Lou Will.
If Giannis is out, their bench might be better than their starting five.
Okay, well, that's a whole nother conversation.
Cole, Torian Prince, Kuzma, Bobby Portis, and Coffee.
We're thinking about things for the Milwaukee Bucks. The Milwaukee Bucks ain't thinking.
Yeah, like these are making issues at this point.
But
can I show you a video?
They're fine.
They're obviously fine. We're just
3-1.
tweaking it. Here's a little video, Giannis, from last night. I want to get your thoughts, whether or not it's a travel, because we like to. Let me just see one.
Oh.
All right, here we go. Here's your gather. You get your gather step. 1, 2,
whoa.
3.
One more.
4.
Yeah.
Hey, ball up top. We going the other way.
That's a travel in any league.
Funny you should say that. It was not called.
Well, this is almost a travel before he puts the ball
That's what
down.
I thought. I was like, wait, hold it, starting here?
Look at this. By the way, it's 2
I like
steps.
it.
1.
This is a heavy Euro.
3, 4.
1.
Oh, my God.
I kind of like it.
2.
A little chutzpah to it.
I don't know. After seeing it the second time.
You don't know, Lou.
Well, if you watch it
because
fast.
First of all, that's ball up top. We arguing all day. If we at the park and he do that, we arguing all day until I get the
The
ball.
game might stop
Yeah,
because
we
of that.
arguing all day until I get the ball. But I'm just, after the gather, I don't know,
That's a gather until the gather.
That's a travel, gather, travel.
I'm just going to play devil's
Let's
advocate.
do an hour of that video. I'm here for all of it. I'm just going to watch. We should probably talk a little bit in New York, right? So, Boogie, before the season, you said they'd already peaked. The Knicks had already peaked. Look, it's early. They played 4 games. They're 2-2 in those 4. Have you seen anything that makes you think they're going to get back to where they were?
I like this Knicks team. I think, obviously, they're a playoff team for sure. But I just feel like it's a lot of pressure on one player as far as winning games on a nightly basis, and that's with Jalen Brunson. He's a smaller guard. He's not the most athletic, and obviously he's figured out a way to contribute every single night. But I just feel like it's so much pressure on him every single night to score the basketball, and that's just not a recipe to compete for a championship, in my opinion.
I mean, he can't take a minute off.
But also, that's why they add Jordan Clarkson. They have, valuable wings with OG and Bridges. To me, it's Cat. And again, the comments before opening night that were concerning, and now after 3 or 4 games, whatever, it's even more concerning that he's got one 20-point game. He's shooting 33% from the field.
Dear Lord.
He's averaging 17 points a game. It's not good enough. This is the guy that we talked about, generational talent, one of the greatest shooting bigs of all time. He said he's the greatest shooting big of all time.
He did say that.
There's high expectations for that. He's rebounding the shit out of the ball. He's averaging 13.5 rebounds. He's doing things like that, but he's
You
inefficient.
gonna get us fired. Stop cursing.
Sorry.
Did he curse?
He's not. He's not.
It's like I'm so like numb.
He's not aggressive, and again, guys have been in and out of the lineup all over the Eastern Conference. It's not enough. Karl-Anthony Towns is not a 17 a night kind of guy. So to me, it's going to start and finish with Jalen Brunson, and he's going to be consistent. From everything we've seen, he is that guy, and his usage rate's going to be through the roof. It's got Karl-Anthony Towns.
What's
has got to
different?
be better.
Like what is different in this
I don't
Mike Brown
know if it's
system?
positions, if it's his role. You could tell by his comments, he was not
weren't
stoked.
great.
He was a little pouty.
He came in with a negative.
Yeah, like,
He started off the whole season.
He's not feeling the new coaching staff.
He's not feeling it, whether that's the coach personally or that's the system or that's what he saw their offensive sets and training camp. He doesn't like his role. Like, that was clear by those comments. And then you see 8 points last night. It's the lowest he's ever had as a Knick. Like, and it doesn't. He doesn't have that sense of urgency. Kyle Kuzma was absolutely bodying him last night defensively, bringing the physicality to him.
Yikes.
He's too good. He's too big. He's too physical to have nights like this, especially when the Knicks need him, because you know Jalen Brunson's going to be exhausted come 2-3 months from now.
Especially when you're playing Giannis, like that's a superstar across the.
He's just too good.
Got to show up.
He's too good to do this.
Yeah, whatever your role is, you should never have 8 points when you're a cat, right? Like.
Right.
You can find 8 points at the free throw line.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's somebody you should lean on to know no matter what's going on, I'm getting 15 to 20 out of this guy every night.
Yeah, and he took 4 free throws. That's also not
That's
enough.
just weird. Let's do some Western Conference fun, shall we? Clippers and Warriors. Warriors have not lost at home yet. They continue. Keep the Clippers under 80. Ooh, that's fun. 98-79. Curry with 19. Butler with 21. Harden had 20 points. Did not score in the second half. And Kawhi finishes with 18. One of 4 teams in the NBA right now with 4 wins, currently sitting 3rd in the West right now is what the Warriors are doing. Look, it's early. I know if you ask Draymond Green, he'll tell you they're contenders. What are we looking at here? What is this Warriors team? Are they that good? Are they good enough?
The Warriors?
Yeah.
They obviously talked about their age and their experience.
Sure.
They have that continuity. And right now, they're healthy for the most part. Jimmy Butler, Draymond Green, Steph Curry, you know what you're going to get from those guys. And they defend, and they play in the system, and they move without the ball, and they bog you down. I mean, listen, they gave up in 2025, I think, up 79 points in a game. that is. I don't care how bad the Clippers have played inefficiently, and I think they were insanely bad offensive numbers, but this is what the Warriors, they can beat you scoring a lot of points, they can beat you in the half court, and they can defend. That's exactly what they do. When you're an experienced team like that, you're going to have bogged down, slow, physical games like this, and this was a prime example of that. And Clippers are honestly just as old as they are, too. This was 2 of the older teams in the league, and it was sloppy basketball a lot of times, and there were some good things that the Clippers did early, and then there's good things that the Warriors did, but this is how the Warriors can beat you, and they're a versatile team.
I agree, and I think the most glaring thing with this team this season, this Warriors team this season, is Steph Curry hasn't had a big performance yet. And they're still one of the top teams in the West right now. So, with that being said, obviously this is a scary team. They're built for the postseason, and we're just waiting for Steph to really erupt. And this is a scary team on the low. I think this is exactly how they wanted to approach this season. So, under the radar team, the underdogs all season, and I think they surprised us.
Yeah, they're 4-1. I feel like we haven't seen them play.
They haven't played great.
Steph's only been the top scorer in like 2 of the games.
Yeah.
And 1 was a loss. So.
Yeah, Jimmy.
That's scary
Jimmy
to think about.
Yeah, Jimmy has been leading his team. So, like Boogie said, imagine when Steph Curry turns into Steph Curry. This team is going to be a tough team to beat against anybody. And we talked about the Clippers being an older team. We talked about the Warriors being an older team. But the Warriors have guys on that roster that are highly competitive, high IQ guys that's going to get them through a lot of nights where you don't have to have these big gaudy numbers from Steph or even Jimmy. Like, they're going on the offensive end with the mindset, we're going to get something out of every single possession. When you got a team that knows how to play a game inside of a game, they're going to give themselves a chance to win any game.
Clippers were leading at the half. And we mentioned the fact Harden didn't score in the second half at all, and then they go on to lose this thing. And they are the oldest. They're not the oldest. They're the oldest, and then the Warriors. It's like oldest, give or take, right? Contenders, Lou. When you watch this Clippers team, and we've said it 1,000 times, I'm almost sick of it. But on paper, goodness gracious, that roster's crazy. But are they legit?
On paper, they're a really good team, and they are legit. They just got to find some consistency, right? Like right now in this season, they're 9th in offensive rating, but they're 16th in defensive rating. Last year, they were 3rd in defensive rating, 17 in offensive rating. They got to figure out a way to get both sides of the basketball to coincide with each other. Once they do that, I think they'll be a better basketball team. I don't know a lot of games where you're gonna have James Harden not score in the second half and not be able to be that force, because when he's scoring the basketball, he turns into also a facilitator, and that makes their offense that much better. So I think they still are contenders, but they're going through some young growing pains for an older team.
Crazy.
And trying to figure out who's doing what. Bradley Beal has only played in 2 games. Still got to figure out where he fits in. You still got to figure out what you're gonna do with Bogdanovich and how he fits into the mold of this team, because if you get him going, he's a guy that's really, really valuable on that roster that can help you win a lot of basketball games. And so they still got a lot of questions to be answered, but I still think in the West, they're going to be a highly competitive team if they can get their offense and their defense to click at the same time.
I think it's going to take some time, right? Like they've made some big additions, like John Collins, Lopez, Chris Paul. They're still going to have to work those guys in. Last night we were watching Kawhi Leonard. He's doing his thing. James Harden was unbelievable. I thought we were going to have a vintage James Harden night. He goes off for 20 in the first half.
Felt like it.
He doesn't get to the free throw line or nothing in the second half. And again, it was weird because they went away from what works. And that's a lot of 2-man game. That is Zubac's on the glass, which he was great. He covered our rebounds, but Steph smoked our parlay with the threes last night. But this is a team where, you know, me and Conrad were talking. They remind me of those teams, the Laker team that just put a collection of these older players out of their prime, or the Nets back in the day that did it, where it looks cool. It seems real fascinating on paper to see all these big Hall of Fame names on one roster. But then at the end of the day, when it comes down to actually playing the game, it doesn't work. Outside that Lakers bubble team, no one's really won at a high level putting this collection of older guys together.
Is that the only argument for putting is the Lakers bubble team? Because you just mentioned like Lakers and Nets and everybody who's tried to do this.
The Nets did it twice. Remember those, like the KG, Joe Johnson, that
so
squad?
Splashy.
They were like, damn, Darren Williams. I thought they were gonna.
What about the Miami Heat? Shaq, D-Wade, Antoine Walker.
But
James
they weren't
Posey.
like they weren't like
Gary
former
Payton.
stars when they added them.
Yeah,
on.
this
What would
I
you
feel like
say?
They were older though.
Yeah, I
they
guess
were definitely older. That's a good one, but
point being, it's rare.
It's
It's
doable,
rare.
but
Yeah,
it's
it's
rare.
rare. But again, that's why I think on paper we're like, ooh, this looks like it could be deadly. Then they get smacked by the Jazz in the first game, and like they have games like this where they score 79 points, and it just shows glaring holes.
That was going to be my question to Lou. You spoke on it earlier as far as, you know, sometimes less is more.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like the Clippers added too much this offseason?
You got to give yourself a shot. I got a new arena. I got to sell tickets too, baby. You got to do both. You got to do both. But I think when you bring in a guy like Bradley Beal, who had a rough run in Phoenix, give him a fresh start. Now, I thought he would get away from a team with so much star power so he can kind of get back to being naturally a 1 or a 2 option guy. He's back in that 3rd option with this group. If he can figure out a way to hone that in and embrace it and give them big minutes, I still think this is a team that can do it. If you can get really good minutes out of Chris Paul, Chris Dunn, Bogdanovich, like these are guys that over the course of their careers have been very valuable players. John Collins as well. Zubac is coming into his own. This is a very talented roster. I didn't even have to mention Kawhi and James.
Right.
So if you can get all of those guys on the same page, I think you have another team that can be like a Golden State. Golden State is off to a better start, but if they put all those pieces together with that star power, I think they still got a shot in the West.
Hey, Brad Beal out with back spasms.
Don't start. Don't start.
You know what that means for Parsons.
Don't start. Boogie, if you
San
ever
Francisco.
you ever try to steal my job
for 2
again,
weeks, man.
Sorry.
Hey, there's a
I will
bender.
murder you.
There's a real heater. Just saying.
Boogie over here stealing my job.
Stay in my
I
lane.
honestly will. No, I think.
Yeah, any other questions
I
you got,
loved it.
Boogie?
I was like, I will actually go and watch the show. I kind of want to watch the show today. We're gonna take a quick break. On the other side, Robert Horry joins us. No, he was like, profesh. Who are you? Woohoo!
Big shot.
Oh, look at that.
Oh,
That's
that wall
awesome.
is fire.
Yeah, that wall was
Yeah.
good. Okay.
It's a lot of hardware in there, man.
Okay.
Sacramento needed defense on Kobe and 1 rebound. They got neither. Pandemonium has broken out here at Staples.
It's always the reaction for me. All right, needs no introduction. Robert Horry, Big Shot Bob joins the show. First of all, we are all commenting on your background. That's a crazy amount of greatness going on back there. Are those Emmys?
Yeah, that's a lot of hardware back there.
Well, yeah, those are Emmys. Oh, those are Emmys, and those are just little replicas of trophies. So, yeah.
Of course, yes, just little replicas of trophies.
I like the wall, though. The
wall's
are
great.
Big old office for all that hardware you got.
I'm actually in my TV room, and those are actually posters that I had a guy named Opie. It's actually a shot from every championship game, and I just have to. I put them on the wall, you know.
That's
a little something to remind myself
Big Shot,
of what I used to do.
that's a lot of pictures.
a big wall. Very
Cover the whole wall, the other side of the wall.
That's a lot of pictures.
I'm kind of glad. We're starting with all the big shots that you have made. Is there one that let's start with this, that you did not make that you think about?
Oh, all the time. my last year as a Laker, playing in San Antonio, Kobe kicks it to me on the left wing, and I missed that shot. And when I missed that shot, I was like, damn. I don't think I've ever been that sad since I lost my last game in high school. And plus, I knew that the Lakers in there's that transition where you guys were just talking about earlier, bringing in a bunch of old guys. I know if we didn't win this series, they wanted Karl Malone, they wanted Gary Payton, and I was out of there. Yeah. So, yeah. And plus, that shot actually cost me a lot of money, too, because the Lakers didn't pick up my contract.
Okay, that hurts.
As you see, there's a lot of reasons why I think about that shot.
So on the flip side, do you have one that was your favorite?
Yeah. Like, how do you pick?
I think about all the shots. A lot of the shots that I made were on the road. The only really big shot I made was the one you guys just showed me in LA against the Kings. And you know us as athletes, we all got an ego. And when you play alongside Shaq and Kobe, you rarely hear your name chanted. So at that moment, when they were chanting my name, and that's the loudest that arena has ever been since Kobe's retirement. So that makes a brother feel good.
Now, when you're a shooter, one way or another, that ball finds a way to find the guy that's supposed to have the ball. How many of those big shots were designed for you, or did it just play out and the ball found you? Zero.
When you go into a play, you guys know this. When you in a mode, and places, especially in the playoffs, they don't want the guy, the head of the snake, to take the shot. I was always the second option. In my mind, I'm like, oh, this play is for me. Because most good defensive teams are going to stop that first option, and the second option was me. So I knew the play wasn't me, but in the back of my mind, I used to tell myself for that confidence, oh, this play is for you.
Right. Mm-hmm. Listen, every fan base in the NBA calls you Big Shot Bob, with the exception of one. The Phoenix Suns. Phoenix Suns, they say cheap shot, Bob, because of the 07 playoffs. Are you still getting hate from Suns fans?
It's just the craziest thing. I actually been in the elevator multiple times when the ownership changed, with the new ownership, with guys from Phoenix, and they were like, and one time I was on the elevator with a guy, and the wife was like, "You're tall. Like, you play basketball?" And the honey was like, the husband was like, "Honey, don't talk to him. He just wanted to knock Steve Nash into the board."
That's great.
But he thought it was a joke. But yeah. I never really liked Phoenix when I got traded there. I didn't like Phoenix when I played against them.
Yeah, so double down on it.
It was a multitude of things.
By the way, we had Amari yesterday, and he said there's no hard
timing.
feelings, no bad blood, so there's no beef there.
But it was rough. It was intense.
But he did get suspended because of that.
Yeah. But that's the craziest thing. I know people like, oh, Robert Horry was so smart. He knew if he did that to Steve Nash, those guys were going to run on the floor and get suspended for a game. I was like, my IQ is pretty damn good, but I ain't that
smart. Too much on that one. By the way, the throwing of a towel at Danny Ainge. What happened?
This story is class.
Yeah, like what went down there?
Well, it's a long story. I just get to the part that is easy. I didn't like him. Let's just get to the easy part. I didn't like him. The things that he did to Mario Elie when I was on the Rockets, and he hit Mario in the face with the ball, and then him telling us that he did it on purpose when Sam and I got traded to Phoenix, and then him saying he traded away Michael Finley and all these guys to give me more minutes, and my minutes actually went down. It was just a lot of things that were boiling up, and it was just bad blood that started from the beginning. So that's why I always feel like if there's a coach on your team and you played against him and you didn't like him, you should be immediately released from that team or something so you don't have to deal with him.
No doubt.
That's a great new rule that should just be allowed in the contract. Like, I bow.
Yes.
I'm just thinking, I'm just looking at Big Shot hit him with that towel, wondering how much that'll cost these days. That's what I'm thinking.
That cost me 2 games. So back then, you guys on that panel made a lot more money than I did. So that cost me like $50,000.
Oh yeah. That would have been a starting price these days.
Have you seen him since or talked to him
Yeah,
since
what's
or
that like?
anything? Like what?
I ran into him once in an All-Star game, and I just did this. He kept it moving. There's no need to talk to him, the crazy part about it is like when you start in this league, you always have your little mentors. Tree Rollins was one of my mentors. I flew commercial, so Tree would always make me go home, pack my bag, and meet him at the airport so he and I would fly together. So he would tell me all the stories of, past games, and he told me the story of Danny Ainge. So you got to think about it. As a young, impressionable guy, I'm already sitting here with Tree Rollins, and he told me about the story about Danny Ainge. So my hate for Danny Ainge started in '92.
This is fair. If you guys, if they say they hate someone, I feel like, okay, well, I'm probably going to hate him too. Like, I kind of like that, actually.
You're already going to have an idea of.
Or like, I'm going in with something.
For sure.
Right, that's fair enough.
Let me ask you about the 7 NBA titles, Robert. I mean, that's insane, by the way. But was there a team that could or should have gotten you an 8th?
Oh, of course. Yes. If we should have three-peated in San Antonio. And when I tell this story, San Antonio fans think I be hating, that I hate on San Antonio. I got nothing but love for San Antonio. San Antonio fans are some of the best fans ever. If you go back, we won in 2005, and in 2006, we lost in Game 7 to the Dallas Mavericks. You think about this. The rule is a do not foul. Dirk goes to the hole, Manu fouls him, gets an and one, makes the free throw, we go into overtime and lose. And so I'm like, dude, what are you doing? And so I think that team was so good. And I felt like we should have went, we should have three-peated then, but of course we didn't win in 2006, then we came back and won in 2007.
So there's 4 players now active, Draymond, Clay, Steph, and LeBron. They all have 4. Any chance any of those guys get to 7 or any of these young guys that you see catching you?
No, I don't think so. It's hard, man. You think about how much turnover the NBA has, and I was very fortunate to play with really, really good duos. I had Clyde and Dream, Shaq and Kobe, and then in San Antonio I had a trio of Tony, Manu, and Tim. So, if you look at OKC, the guys at OKC, they're so young. I think that is probably the only team that can really start a dynasty. They look like, if you watch them, they remind me of what the Bulls were with Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Tony Kukoc, and Dennis Rodman. They have 4 really, really good guys that fit. And I think if you want to start now, I think OKC is the team to watch. But LeBron, I don't think he got like 2 more years left in him. So that's a wrap. Draymond, about 3 more years left in him. And you guys mentioned it earlier. That team is, they're built for the playoffs, but it depends on who they get in the playoffs. And that makes a big difference when it comes to that.
You kind of just spoke on it, but you played with 3 generational big men, Shaq, Hakeem, and Tim Duncan. Out of those 3, who do you think was the best?
I think overall, Dream was the best, but if you give me the 2001, 2002 Shaq, 2000 to 2002 Shaq, every year, that guy that's in shape, that guy that's starving for a championship, there's no doubt in my mind that guy forever will be the greatest player I ever played with, only for those 2 years. Because, after that, he kind of, wasn't in the shape that he was. He kind of injuries kind of plagued him. You think about even in my last season as a Laker, he missed half the season because of his big toe. And people realize when big men's feet go out, it's a wrap. And so, you think about Yao, you think about, Ilgauskas, you think about these guys who have bad feet, their career was over pretty soon. So it's just amazing that the duos I played with and the bigs I played, Dream is first, Shaq is second. And even though Tim is like third, people are like, why is Tim third? He's considered a big fundamental. It's just because that these other guys just do so much, and let's be fact, they call them fundamentals. When you think fundamentals, you think boring.
How dare you, Robert?
It's great. I know. I'm just saying. You think about it. You got the Dream Shake, you got the Shaq attack, And when you got Tim, you got
At
what?
the bank.
The big funny.
The bank's so fun. What's wrong with y'all?
No one wants to see a jab bank shot.
It's so fun. I love the bank.
Now, if Tim could bank from both sides of the floor, then I would call him the bank master. But he can only bank from one side of the floor.
Speaking of Shaq,
Sacrilege.
is it true you used to whisper things in his ear to take his mind off of the shooting at the free throw line? And what exactly would you tell him?
Man, I told him a multitude of things because Shaq and I used to shoot free throws together almost every day after practice. So I seen the runs he would go on 10, 15, 20 free throws in a row. And so I would just go up to him. Sometimes I'd be like, yo, man, Halle Berry over there, she said, you make these, you can go out with it. This crazy shit. And I even told him sometimes, you miss these free throws, we gonna lose and you're gonna be considered a flop. And he'll look at me like crazy. And it's just, I would tell him these things just to try to get his mind off of it or just make him laugh so he can be like we used to do in practice. And because you think about it, we do so many things in practice that make us, competitive, perfect for a game. I just felt like that was a way to just get his mind off it and just enjoy the moment, man, because there's so many guys that be put in these positions to play, and Shaq put us in a lot of positions to be successful. So I just had to enjoy the moment with him.
I think that sounds fun, actually. All right, the Shaq and Kobe chapter, I know obviously was not a secret that there were some issues there between the two of them. Mm-hmm. Did it get weird? Like mom and dad are fighting. Like there was just a vibe that it just felt awkward. Do you remember moments like that?
I don't, and that's the weirdest thing. So many guys, even if I was in my own world, I think half the time, because I'm like, in practice, we always just sit, after practice, we sit in the locker room, we laugh, we joke, we eat food, we go home. And then when we win championships, they the first two to hug. I must have been just freaking clueless, man, because I think about, when I won a championship, my first year, the first person I hugged was Sam Cassell, because that was my boy. And then when I got the Lakers, the first person I hugged was, Fish one time and Rick Fox one time, because those were my boys. And so that's just how it goes, man. I think, and I was just clueless to it. You get to practice and all of a sudden the news, the reporters are coming with Shaq said this, Kobe said this, and there's always head scratches like, when did they say this? I didn't hear it at all.
That's actually beautiful.
You just called me a blonde. I was like Rick Fox. I was just clueless.
I gotta ask you. We just talked about Shaq and Kareem and Tim Duncan, all these guys. Mm-hmm. There's a new one, and his name's Victor Wembanyama. And obviously, first of all, what are your thoughts on him? Have you seen anything like him? Because it's the highlights he's doing at the beginning of the season is some stuff we've never seen before.
And you probably never will, because think about it, he's 7'5" and getting taller.
Right.
And his ability to put the ball on the floor, his ability to shoot it from anywhere. He's like a catapult. You can't block it. He just puts it in the air and it's going in. His ability to just, sidestep. Yeah, you think about all the people he worked with in the summertime. It usually takes you years to add that. He's added everything in the summertime. Working with Crossover, working with Dream. And it's like, damn, dude, I worked with Dream for 7 years, didn't learn nothing. I'm like, dude, how did you put that in your game? And it's just amazing what this dude can do, man. I think the only person that can stop him is injuries and himself. I do get a little mad when he gets caught up in shooting threes all the time, but because you can't stop him when you go to the hole. Think about it, he gets to the free throw line, he can just dunk, but he's amazing, man. He's putting the league on notice, and if he can stay healthy, he's going to win Defensive Player of the Year, Offensive Player of the Year, and MVP. Everything. He's going to be everything.
And he's always going to be compared to Tim Duncan because of that Spurs connection. Mm-hmm. Do you think he has the talent and the time to eclipse some of these stats? A 5-time NBA champion, 3-time MVP, Finals MVP, 2-time MVP, 15 All-Stars, 15 All-NBAs, 15 All-Defenses.
That's outrageous.
Do you think he can walk some of that down, all of it down?
I think the only one that he probably cannot walk down is that top one, because it's not about just you on that one. It's about, everybody around you. If they, they're a young team, they're still learning, they're going to make some mistakes, and they got a young coach too, so he's going to make some mistakes. I think that's the big thing. The defense, that's a wrap. He's gonna blow all that out the water. But the key, like we said earlier, is him staying healthy, because if you look at what he's able to do and just what he changes, you've never seen someone change your whole game plan up. Not just how you play, the whole team. He can switch out. He can stay like 6 feet from you and still block the shot. So there's you think about what his fellow countrymen did, and we're like, you won defensive player, and you really not that good, but this guy's way better. He should really pass you and then pass everybody else.
Right.
Robert, I know, before I let you go, this is my own personal goal because they're going for that sixth banner in San Antonio. Can I get a race for Sace from you, for San Antonio fans that are watching?
She's asking everybody.
Sace.
Come on, you got
what?
it. A race for Sace. They're going for the sixth banner in San Antonio. You know that.
Even he doesn't even know what this is.
God, why is no one race for Sace? It's 100% a thing. All right.
I just came from San Antonio. I was doing something for UTSA, and I didn't even hear. I never heard that before.
Then you were not hanging with the right people, Robert. And I will get back to you on that.
I am loved in San Antonio, so I was hanging with the right people. Hey, that's kind of a joke. San Antonio fans are like this with me.
Yeah, it's fair. It's fair. It happened. It's been awesome having you on. We appreciate it so much. Talk soon.
Anytime, man. Have a great day.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Later.
We'll be back. It is a thing.
Run it up, run it back.
Y'all like points? We got points. Miami dropped 144 of them last night on the Hornets. Bam! With 26 and 6 rebounds. Jaime Jaquez went 28, 5, and 4. Oh, he had a plus 43 if you're into that. Look, it's been a bit of a surprising start, I think, for Miami. 3-1 sitting right now. A lot of us had written them off, I think, collectively as just a fringe team out in the East. Lou, maybe something is here that we did not look at.
Got to give them credit. They're off to a great start, and we've always said the Miami Heat is an organization that's a plug and play. They have a certain way of going about business and the type of guys that they want in their organization. Bam Adebayo and Wiggins are those guys, and then you look at what Jaime Jaquez was able to do coming off the. I know I tore his name up.
I think it was close though.
I tried. What is it?
Jaime.
Oh, well.
Oh, I'm sorry. Bilingual over here. All of a sudden,
Jamie.
he's judging everybody.
It's Jamie.
Y'all don't even know the word Sace is for 6.
Neither did Big Shot.
But what I was saying is, those are talented guys, and especially how open the East is right now. Why not give these guys a shot? You look at the schedule coming up. It's going to be a rough run. I'd like to have this conversation after this next 5-game run with the Clippers, Lakers, Spurs, Denver, and then Charlotte again. That's going to be a tough one. But if they can get out of that with 3 or 4 of these wins out of those 5, they might be a real contender. But the East is wide open. I don't see why not.
And Spo is an unreal coach, and the whole Heat culture thing, it's still a thing, right?
Sure.
They're still going to play hard. They find guys, too, that just fit that. Like Davion Mitchell. Like, he could have just been out of the league, and now he's just like a starting point guard, and he's that dog that picks you up 94 feet. They have young talent where they're super high on Ware. They're super high on the Euro kid Jovic. Like, so they have talent to go alongside Bam and Tyler Hero. They add a guy like Norman Powell, who had a career year last year, so they do have the infrastructure of a good team. Andrew Wiggins still has a lot to prove. So they have experienced guys, they have a little bit of youth, they have size, and they have that culture, that DNA that they're going to outwork you, they're going to play hard, which alone nowadays is going to win you some games. So the Heat are always going to be in it. Do they have enough to compete for a championship? Who knows? But again, Eastern Conference is wide open. If you would have told them they'd start 3-1, they'd take it all day long.
Yeah, wouldn't have guessed that. Look, we hear about it all the time. Going into Miami as an away player can be a little bit difficult at times. What? Is it that hard? I mean,
it's the night before that's the hardest.
Oh, is it?
It's Miami.
Is that what it is? Yeah, how hard is it to...
It's kind of overrated.
Do you not, I was going to say,
Miami's
is it overrated?
overrated?
Here we go. That's what I wanted to hear.
No, Miami's
But listen,
Can you just not go out?
People.
That's a great point.
What's your experience?
Miami?
Yeah.
Miami's a great time. Like, let's not.
No, I know
Did
it's
you go
great.
out before games?
Absolutely. When we last show when we spoke on playing drunk in games,
It was
Miami, absolutely.
Did you play well though in the game?
I played incredible.
Back spasms happen
30-point game.
Really?
Yeah, 30-point game.
Did your team lose or win?
Did we win that one?
Because that's the other. I guess
This is with the Kings, so it's a great chance we lost.
Fair enough. That's fair. Chandler, I already know you're a degenerate.
Listen, if you're looking at, I don't know if we're just getting sidetracked here, but towns in the NBA.
Here we go.
New York, LA, Miami. There's obviously some sleepers.
Chicago's
there's,
fun.
There's Toronto's, the Scottsdale, or the Phoenix, but Miami is.
But
Miami.
those are the type of towns that you know you're gonna go out, you know you're gonna do your thing, so you're extra locked in the next day. So when I'm saying that it's overrated, I'm not saying the town is overrated.
yeah.
I'm saying the experience is, because you know coming into it, I can't come in this game playing around because it's already.
But you know
stigma.
that now. What about when you're young?
No, I knew it then.
But at minimum, you're going
You know
to
it then,
Prime
because
112 for dinner.
Yeah, you can't
go to dinner.
You lose a
Yeah.
game in Miami, you're getting blamed. You're gonna blame it on going out anyway. So knowing that going into the game, you got to go try to win that basketball game. game to keep the heat off of you.
It also depends on, what conference you're in. You coming from the, Western Conference, you get that one trip to Miami. Yeah, you're going out,
go
regardless
out.
if it's a back-to-back, if you got 2 days off.
Yeah.
And when you're in the East, you get a little, more opportunity to visit Miami. So it may be a night where
the worst is
skip
playing
out.
Miami in the playoffs, though.
I can only imagine.
Because you for sure can't go out then.
And then the
you
fans
just sitting
leave
there
early
looking out the window in your hotel, wanting to get outside.
But you can always fly back the
shopping.
minute the season ends. Like, I feel like it's not that big a deal, no?
But then that takes a little more effort. Then it's on your dime. You might as well do it while you're on the company's dime.
Okay.
It just makes free room, free flight. You just go out and have a good time.
You're on the Sacramento Kings. You get one night in Miami, you are taking full advantage.
Okay, you know what? I've been convinced. I stand corrected.
Listen, no, it happens. I was on a Western Conference team, and one of my teammates bothered me for months about going to Atlanta.
Okay.
And we got to Atlanta, and he meant every single word.
He left it all out there?
He left it on the floor.
That's
Literally.
No, literally left it on the floor.
Oh, God. Okay, we'll take a quick break. We'll talk a little LaMelo on the other side. He needs some love. He's been great.
I was going to say, we just did a whole...
Run it up, run it back.
Please.
We're gonna read the Hornets roster names for you in a second as a new game that we're starting. But first, can we give LaMelo Ball some love? He has been doing some pretty incredible things. He's a fun player to watch. We didn't show him enough love. He's averaging 26, 8, and 10 so far in the season. People talking, there's never been a doubt about his talent. I don't think that's ever come into question. But are they a solid supporting cast away from him getting to be an actual true star in the league?
You know what? I would listen to this interview the other day with his brothers, and it's so true. How he played growing up at their house in the park, he just straight up took that to the NBA, and now he does it at this level, which is great, and it's exciting, and you watch him play. I don't know if that form of basketball is going to translate to wins and championships. It hasn't yet, but that's how he's going to get judged. He's always going to put up these numbers. Look at those numbers. 26, 8, damn near 10 assists. Like, this kid is talented enough. He's tall enough to be putting up these type of numbers always. He is just going to be judged off winning and doing this in the playoffs, and we just haven't seen that yet. So I think that's always going to be the knock on him. They add some guys. They add Cockburner. They add Knipple. They had Colin Sexton. So they add all these guys that they're building and growing with, and then Brandon Miller is a stud.
Listen, he's an oh my God, he's an all-star caliber player, right? We don't even have to debate that, but the organization, they got to take some of this responsibility of where this team. Stop, Beadle. They got to take responsibility of where this organization is. They're off to a decent 500 start, and 2-2, but put some real power around them or build it inward. Like Brandon Miller, I think he's going to be a good player for them. Outside of that, some of these guys are still trying to make their name and trying to make their way. But put some household names around them, some guys that know how to win basketball games, and then let's see, and we judge LaMelo Ball on that.
And I can't agree more. That's my issue with all of this. It's always to where the blame is always on the player. Like, what is this organization doing to help this kid reach that next level? Since he's been with the Hornets, I've yet to see a true veteran presence to guide him, help him, groom him into being a leader for this team. We keep speaking on leadership. We keep speaking on, leading this team, performing at a high level, showing consistency. But none of those examples have been in front of him since he stepped foot in this organization, and that's on the organization. So when that changes, I think you'll get a change
Maybe he'll get a chance.
the team.
All right, that's going to do it for us. We'll be back tomorrow, probably.
Peace.